viewers. It's been a while since I made my last video in this channel, but for this episode, I'm going to discuss the another problematic doctrines from the Jehovah's Witnesses religion. As all of you know, this channel is devoted in discussing the many erroneous, confusing, and nonsense doctrines of Jehovah's Witnesses from their top leaders, which they call the governing body, and that wasting the time, energy, and lives of their members worldwide. So for this episode, what I'm going to discuss is their September 2022 Watchtower magazine and their article entitled "Is Your Name in the Book of Life?" This study article will be considered by the congregations all over the world, by the Jehovah's Witnesses, on the week of November 21 to 27. In this particular article of Watchtower magazine of the Jehovah's Witnesses, their leaders is issuing yet another adjustment or alteration from their teaching, which they call it to soften the impact. Their leader call it adjustments. Those kinds of words is to exonerate them of any liability from the erroneous teachings that they have issued in the past. But amusingly, in this article, while issuing a new understanding, they call it understanding or adjustment in their teaching, they inadvertently contradicted their line of argument and in the later paragraphs from those points. What I'm saying here is what I'm pointing here is paragraph 13, where we can find this kind of new light. They call it new light adjustment from their old teaching, which means that without admitting that their old teaching is erroneous or false. So let's read paragraph 13. Jesus also spoke about those who would be resurrected here on earth. For example, he said, "The hour is coming in which all those in the memorial times will hear his voice and come out. Those who did good things to a resurrection of life, and those who practice bad things to a resurrection of judgment." What did Jesus mean? In the past, we understood Jesus' words to refer to the deeds of resurrected ones will practice after the resurrection. That is in the past. That is, some will come to life and practice good things, while others will come to life and practice bad things. However, note that Jesus does not say that those who have just come out of the memorial tombs will do good things or will practice bad things. He uses the past tense. He speaks of those who did good things and those who practice bad things. This indicates that these actions took place before their death. That makes sense, does it not? After all, no one will be allowed to practice bad things in the world. The unrighteous must have practiced these bad things before their death. How then are we to understand Jesus' words about resurrection of life and a resurrection of judgment? So that is their declaration about their new life or adjustment, what they call an adjustment to their teaching. They say it in these paragraphs that those who will be resurrected will be judged not on the things that they will do after their resurrection, but on the things they have done in the past, before their death. So that is very clear in these two paragraphs, paragraph 13 and 14 of this article entitled "Is Your Name in the Book of Life" of September 2022 Watchtower magazine. That is very clear. So it makes sense because the grammar of John 5:28 and 29 is very clear about this about this kind of understanding the words of Jesus, that the dead will be judged according to the things they have practiced before their death, not after the resurrection. So they have departed from their old explanation of this, from their old teaching. And what can we say? this new kind of explanation is is consistent with the grammar of John 5:28 and 29, which is in the past tense. So what can we understand from this kind of explanation from the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses? We will be inclined to ask some question like, is it really, are we going to understand it that, and so many decades that they are teaching John chapter 5 verse 28 and 29, are they admitting that these teachers do not know about grammar or tenses of verb? Is this the kind of teachers are we going to submit our lives or entrust our future who don't even know how to understand simple verb tenses? Or it is another thing around or another way around? Maybe they know it, that they know it all these years, that their explanation of John chapter 5 verses 28 and 29 is not in conjunction, or maybe they know it all these years that their explanation of John chapter 5 verse 28 and 29 is not in parallel with the verb tenses on those verses. But then they continue to teach that kind of false teaching all those years because they want to adhere to their own kind of theology. So, but now they are admitting that those kinds of explanation is not consistent with the verb tense of John chapter 5 verse 28 and 29. But wait, there is more, my viewer.
But wait, there's more.
Because after saying that the resurrected ones will be judged according to their deeds they have done before their death, not after the resurrection, let me take you to paragraph 18 of the same article. Let's read from paragraph 18. It says here, based on what deeds will be resurrected ones will be judged. Here they are again, after explaining in paragraph 13 and 14 that the deeds will not be judged according to the things they will do in the future, but on the things they have done in the past before their death. They raise again these questions. Based on what deeds will resurrected ones be judged? Will it be the deeds they practiced before they died? Let me call your attentions that these tenses or words, like the word before here is being italicized and in a boldened font. They do it to stress this, to stress their points. Will it be the deeds they practiced before they died? No. with exclamation point. Remember, they were acquitted of their previous sins when they died. Where did they get this kind of thought that the sins of the resurrected ones has been already acquitted? They have taken that from their own translation, mistranslation of Romans chapter 6 verse 7, which according to their own Bible, which they translated the way they want it to be, the one who has died has been acquitted from his sins, Romans 6 7, which, if you will research, my dear viewers, is not the meaning of the verse of Romans 6 7. So, they have a problem. That is why they have arrived from this kind of declaration that contradicted their declaration, which they called New Light, on paragraph 13 and 14 of this very same article of Watchtower. So, what can we say about these teachers, my dear viewers? They are so confused, disoriented. But let me tell you, honestly, I doubt that a regular or an ordinary member of the Jehovah's Witnesses can explain this kind of explanation, which is discombobulated. We can call it discombobulated because this is a whole disarray of thoughts. They want it to put together, but if we are an analytical person, we can see it right away from just reading these paragraphs that they are contradicting their own line of argument within the same article. So, are we going to trust our lives to these kinds of religious teachers or this religion? It's a very ridiculous thing to accept this kind of teaching from the Jehovah's Witnesses. That's all for this episode, and I hope you have learned a thing or another about this religion of the Jehovah's Witnesses, which is already on the streets, back on the streets this weeks after 2 year long of hiatus from their activity. So, if you want to use this kind of this article, this discussion, this content to ask them how they can explain their new light regarding John chapter 5 verse 28 and 27, and while contradicting that new light with their declaration here on paragraph 18 in the same article, it's a very good talking point to begin with on approaching the Jehovah's Witnesses in your area. So thank you, dear viewers, for your indulgement and this short content. Thank you very much.